PPI data comes in with a beat, with a 0.2 month-over-month increase when forecasts or market expectations were set to 0.4%. We also had the presidential announcement today for President Trump's official running of presidency. All of these things are very good catalysts for the market in the coming sessions. But what can actually happen to IMBI? What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. This is ARCa coming at you with an IMBI statisticals thread and technicals thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCab. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. One thing, you guys, if my voice actually starts going away, that's because I'm not feeling well. I am still under the weather, and I just want to make sure that I'm here for you as much as I possibly can. Okay, you guys, so please bear with me if I pause or if I need to just take a quick little breather. It's just my lungs are not doing so good. It's a terrible cold. Definitely not corona, but definitely a cold. Okay, so we are looking at IMBI in the 8-hour chart, and we have been tracking IMBI in this massive descending broadening wedge, which is a bullish reversal signal all on its own. And we have noticed that we have test number 1, 2, and 3 of the resistance. Now, I talk about the golden rule of 3 very often in this channel, and that consists of 3 tests of the resistance followed by a capitulation event, or we can consider this accumulation of sorts, before an actual true breakout on test number 4, in which it looks like we just got. And as you can see, we are now attempting that confirmation of the newly converted resistance into support. This candle coming down to the downside and touching this right at this support line of the descending broadening wedge can tell us that we are still looking bullish. And as you can see, this candle has barely returned anything from which what it has gained. Now, as far as support levels, we can actually see that we do have the knot 236 from the swing low as a form of support, which is right at 51.02. This is 51 cents. And also we are looking at, let me just make sure that this is the 30-day exponential moving average. We have the 7-day exponential moving average and the 10-day simple moving average as a form of support as well. Things are looking very good for IMBI in the coming session, you guys. And I can also see right here that we do have the SMA 50, the 50-day simple moving average, as a form of resistance. If we are able to break above this 50 SMA, we can likely use it as a form of support before a continuation on to the upside. And the reason why I have this resistance box here is that this is likely an area that we can face before an actual continuation. This is based on some closures and wick highs of candles previously tested, right? You can see just like this over here. We have this candle here, this candle closing there, or the low of the candle there. Wick low down to here, this candle, yeah, it's just, you understand my point. This is a resistance box that we do have to clear in order for us to continue on to the upside, which I don't see as too much of a problem right now, considering that we are at a breakout point. And the bullish price objective of this formation itself is a massive objective, but we do have to practice patience, and we do have to, more importantly, know that I'm not a financial advisor. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of entertainment. I can't actually suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Please do your own DD and we'll be okay, right? Okay, so the overall take profit from this formation is usually defined as the entry or the genesis of the formation, which is right over here. And that genesis is in direct confluence with our 2-spot 618 Fibonacci ratio, our golden mean of about $1.25. Or somewhere between $1.20 and $1.25. But yes, so this would essentially be where we can ultimately resolve the price objective of this formation. There are, of course, plenty of obstacles along the way, like the SMA 100. We do have the one spot 618 right over here at about 93 cents. The SMA 200, which is landing at the top of this box, the resistance box, which is at about $1.03. $1.03 before we continue on to that upside. Please be aware of those obstacles, as we do need to clear them. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. And this is the statistical side of the chart. And this is something that we've been also looking at for quite some time. We noticed that we were in a bullish structure here. This is a descending triangle, and the descending triangle does have an upside objective. That objective is acquired by taking a trend line from the hypotenuse of the triangle to the lowest point of the triangle and applying it to the point of breakout. So breakout is likely on this candle here. It was a gap up, so we actually apply it right over here, and then we can see that our price objective is landing in direct confluence with the 2-spot 618 yet again at 60 cents, 60.23 to be exact. The price objective itself is suggesting 59 cents. But since the 2-spot 618 is right above us, we might as well touch it or clear it before facing a rejection and potentially finding support at our SMA 50 right over here. Actually, let's just make sure that, yeah, this is our 50-day exponential moving average. If we don't find support here, it would first be the one spot 618. I'm sorry, first the one spot 618 at 53 cents or 54 cents. And this could be our secondary support alongside the one spot 272 at 51.73, 51 cents. Things are definitely looking very good for IMBI. Now, the statistical side of this is this. New listeners, we are looking at volatility represented by this indicator BBWP. Volatility is direction neutral, so we pair it with an indicator similarly to this one here, which is stochastic momentum or a momentum oscillator, so that we can gauge that bias in direction. Now, based on the backtest, the criteria from expanding from a critical low or a buildup of volatility, which I consider to be anything below this 15 percentile line down here, I've taken iteration from every single time we've started an expansion phase from these lows. And when we print two back-to-back lows like this, or builds of volatility, we can actually see a pretty strong move to the upside. Now, based on that backtest, which I actually do by hand, as you can see here, there's plenty of metrics for us to evaluate. So all of those metrics gave us an averaged mean for us to evaluate some upside targets. Out of 29 total iterations, we have 15 that were correct. That gives us an average upside accuracy of 51.72% with an average upside thrust of 32.18% over the span of just over 11 days. Now, excuse me. Let's go ahead and try to apply that 32.18% to the price action. So we can see that we actually, okay, one more thing. The criteria to be met in order for us to apply this upside metric, we do need both the volatility component of the BBWP and the moving average, both pivoted to the upside and beyond the 15%. The 15 percentile. Now, since we are in a lower time frame, I can actually drop this to the 10 percentile, which is right over here. So we are just above it. So now we can actually apply that metric. Alongside the upside pivots here, we do need momentum to also suggest a continuation onto the upside, in which it still is. So, since we are so close to an overbought level, this is similar to an RSI, so we can actually use terminology like that. But based on a historical movement, you can see that, I'll draw a trend line right over here, and you can see that we still have some pretty high potentials here. So this is about as high as we've reached the stochastic momentum level. So you can see that we still have a ways to go. However, we don't have to reach it because there are plenty of iterations from where we can use a retracement point from. So now that upside thrust, 32.18%. Let's go ahead and apply that. Since we are now just at about that confirmation, we can actually apply it to our current point. Now that averaged upside thrust takes us to the 100-day simple moving average, and more importantly, the 3-spot 618 at 66 cents IMBI. So this is a potential, since we are now meeting the criteria to apply this upside thrust. We can see that the SMA 100 and the 3-spot 618 have direct confluence with each other, and it shows that our upside thrust is well within that realm as well. So we do have some pretty good things coming up for IMBI as well. The economical data that was released and also the presidential announcement could actually serve as an assistance for price action to continue on to the upside. Very, very good things coming about. Now let's move on to the last chart. This is the RSI. So I'm going to leave something up right over here for you guys to be able to see what that RSI consists of. So that I don't have to explain it every single time. I know it's a huge picture of an RSI, but this whole RSI is actually just one whole one like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. The 30-minute time frame we're going to start with first. Let's go ahead and do this immediate short-term analysis. And we are suggesting a continuation slightly to the upside. However, it is very much neutral in direction, so we can see a potential sideways trading early session. Bi-hourly, or let's select the bi-hourly first. Bi-hourly is suggesting a continuation onto the upside and approaching the deeper levels of bull weakness percentile, which means that we are likely to be gravitated into bull strength. This is in accordance with our upside move that we are looking at. And since it's a smaller pivot, it is more so in accordance with the price objective of the triangle first, which is this location here at the 2-spot 618, before a continuation onto the upside. Now, the 6-hour RSI is also suggesting a continuation onto the upside. We are above the moving average, and also we have now entered the bull weakness percentile, but we are nonetheless in the bullish control zone. Now, the daily RSI is suggesting a continuation onto the upside. It is approaching the shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile, which means we are likely to jump into bull weakness. I definitely see partially red day at the beginning, but overall I see a green day for IMBI by the end of day tomorrow or mid-session and on. Please remember, guys, that I am not a financial advisor. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of entertainment. We can always discuss these analyses in another place. Do your own DD and we'll be okay. Okay, so this is a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me on Discord, on Twitter. I'll leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the ARCa trading community on Discord. But with that said, I really appreciate your attention. I appreciate your patience while I'm a little under the weather. But let's go ahead and move on. And with that said, I wish you well, and I wish you a good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.